Alright, hey everyone, this is Ash. Welcome back to the King's Speech. So we're finally getting down to it. I know quite a few friends have asked me on Twitter when I'm about to start it. So this is going to be my reaction read through for Jeff Lemire's Descender series, which I've heard a lot of good things about. I don't know too much about the story or things apart from that. So it should be kind of interesting getting into this series. And like I mentioned on my channel update, I'm trying to make this a more regular part of the channel in 2020, just trying to get into more graphic novels and a bit more diversity series reading wise. So just a couple of quick notes for channel stuff before I dive into this. Apart from this, today I'll try to get out a Vinland Saga video at minimum. Like that's definitely something I want to do today, especially since the Vinland Saga anime season 1 just finished airing recently, I believe, and season 2 has already been greenlit, and we're bringing indications it's going to be covering the farm arc of Vinland Saga, which is one of my favorite arcs of the story in anything ever. So I'm looking forward to that. So kind of want to start drawing attention back to that series again. And apart from that, I'll also try to get to Alita today if I can as well. And I hope everyone's enjoyed the Yona of the Dawn series I put out, because I think I got up to volume 4 recently. So I hope you enjoyed that and looking forward to more. But without further ado, let us dive into Descender by Jeff Lemire and Dustin Nguyen. Volume 1, 10 stars. So we have the planet Nirada. Nirada is the technological and cultural hub of a group of 9 core planets known as the United Galactic Council. Nirada is also home to the 9 embassy cities, one city-state for each of the core planets and species representing the United Galactic Council. Current population 5.53 billion. So you see very futuristic city, almost like, Futurama and all the sci-fi ones where you see, ships just flying through the air like hovercrafts, and you see little road tracks and buildings everywhere. On the next page you see, I don't care what the Ganetians say. That colony belongs to Samson. Its resources are ours to exploit as we see fit. We have the UGC's backing here. We have the UGC's backing here, Dr. Tellon. And you hear, that's all well and fine to say, kissed, but there, kissed. Like, shh, it's all right. Mammy's just on the comm, dear. Hush now. And so you see this woman with a short shock of blue hair walking through this little pedway area, followed by what I assume is her robot nanny and her child, with the robot nanny telling the child, it's okay. And you hear, wah! I was like, wah! The woman's like, would you quiet her down? I'm. And the robot goes, but ma'am, look above. And she looks up in shock and she goes, what is that? Next page you see an eep, eep. This robot alarm clock is going off. And this man's just literally waking up in his giant mansion-sized room. We have, excuse me, Dr. Kwan, but you have a priority 1 hail from the United Galactic Council. So Dr. Kwan goes, shut the damn alarm off. What time is it? The robot goes, it is currently 9:46 UGC time. He goes, ugh, project the comm. And you see the robot projecting, and you see this bearded old man in the video going, Kwan, where the hell are you? Why haven't you been answering our hails? And he goes, General Nagoki, I'm sorry, sir. I was in the lab all night and he goes, I don't care. Haven't you been outside? And Kwan's like, no, what now? Are the Initians blockading the Neuretian spaceway again? So he slowly makes his way up to this expansive curved window to look outside. And the general goes, what is it? Yeah. General goes, this is not the Initians. We need you, doctor. Get to Central Terminal now. And as he goes out onto his balcony, he looks up in surprise as he goes, oh. And you see, what do we do now? And he goes, nothing, doctor. Our sensors have not been able to penetrate their outer shells. Our comms are not being answered. It seems totally dormant. The council is in panic. They've scrambled all available UGC warships and are waiting to launch a full assault. We can't figure out what the hell these things are. So again, quick glimpse, it's got a bunch of warships outside in the space area. Just completely surrounding the planet, looks like. In general, was it Nagoki's like, yes. You have to tell things are. And Kwan's like, my god. Nagoki goes, God? I don't think so, Dr. Kwan. It's a machine. Oh boy, so it looks like all the warships are on their side. And they see this huge iron giant looking, Pacific Rim robot that's just immensely tall standing there. That looks insanely cool. Nagoki's like, not just a machine, Kwan. That is a robot. And Kwan's like, but you said there were others? And then someone else comes up behind him and goes, there are 8 more of these things orbiting the other 8 key worlds of the UGC. Not identical, but very similar in size and shape. And Kwan goes, General Nagoki, surely you must have some idea where they come from. Machines of this size. Nagoki goes, you practically invented modern robotics in the UGC, Kwan. That's why you're here. There's no one more qualified to figure out what the hell these things are and where they came from than you. I can give you a 24-hour window before we launch a complete military assault. The UGC's full resources are yours. Just tell me what you need and it's yours. And he's like, and you hear a blip as one of the pilots goes, General, something is happening. And you see them looking out going, it's eyes. The energy field around it is spiking. I think it's going to communicate. And you see Nagoki going, no, it's an attack. As you see the robot just lifting up a hand, and you see its eyes just starting to glow. And you see just an explosive blur, I think, as the all got obliterated. And we have Descender Book 1 Tin Stars. On the next page you have the moon of Darishu 6, home of the Darishu mining colony. 10 years later, current population 1. You see this small black-haired little child waking up in this bed, going, hello? And you hear Swip as he goes out the door and starts exploring what looks like some kind of space station. He goes, hello? Andy? Mom? And he goes and opens a panel door into this, what looks like a communal space, and you just see corpses lying all around, just completely obliterated, and everything just looks like super dirty and covered in grime. Ooh, looks like all the other colonists are dead. And you see him just looking outside, and you see like just the deserted planet outside. The little kid goes, computer, are you active? And you go, affirmative. Hello, Tim 21. And he goes, how long have I been asleep? The computer goes, you have been asleep for nearly 10 years, Tim 21. And he goes, 10 years? And Andy, Mother? The computer goes, the humans you call Andy and Mother were among the colonists hit an undetected pocket of cerium gas in the mines. This corrupted the atmosphere within minutes. They tried to and you hear fra. It's a computer. What was that? And the computer just as it buzzes out. And it goes, computer, please answer me. He's like, I need help. And you see him just slowly making his way through into the rest of the rooms and hallways of the ship. And he just sees the desiccated corpses of like everyone else just lying in there where they fell. And you have just this super real haunting imagery as he's walking down this massively empty spaceship and just comes across all these bodies just lying everywhere, as he's walking around. And he heads down some stairs. And he heads into what looks like the parking garage area. And you hear, hello? It's like, fra. It's like, is someone there? You hear, fra. He goes, bandit! Next page, and then you see his face start to break apart and crack as his robotic bits come out. And his hands just open up and you see all these robotic armature bits coming out as he runs into, I have no idea what that is. It looks like a helmet with wheels. Just another quick look at what's happening on that page. I'm going to probably do a lot of that because I'm very, very bad at describing things. So this is going to be how I kind of process going forward. Is she fra? He's like, I can't believe it's really you. Why are you talking like that? He goes, your language circuits are all mixed up. Here. And so he just does a little beep as he does a little, some kind of mechanical screwdriver into the robot and fixes it and puts what looks like a hinge back on. And you see it lighting up with a little ooh face. And he's like, backwards. There. Got it. He's like, Earth. Alright, so he's got a robotic dog. He's like, I don't know where Andy is. Or Mother. We'll find them, boy, I promise. The little robot dog's like, Earth! You have the moon of Darushu 6. You have Tim21 going, you must have been so lonely. It's okay, I'm here now. Current population 2. You have, yes, the colonists hid a gas pocket deep in one of the mines. It killed them all. But 2 shuttles are gone, so maybe... You see him putting on some jacket and boots as he goes outside to explore. He goes, let's check the communications hub. Maybe I can uplink with the data network and find out if Mother and Andy were among those who escaped. So he goes inside one of the ships and goes, computer, the airlock to the comm hub was compromised. The servers must have been damaged from exposure. I might be able to bypass the damage by directly connecting with my internal comm system. You have, that's better, I've connected. He goes, that's odd. There are a number of unopened news blasts on the colony's data servers. Oof. And then you see just a montage of screenshots, all these surrounding screens of explosions and people just running away, and a little sign saying no robots slashed through it. And it goes, 9 of these massive machines have now been confirmed in orbit around the core worlds of the megacosm. The United Galactic Council is stressing the need for calm. They assure us that they are investigating these mysteries. The focus of the Harvester attack seems to have been citizens of the UGC and our planetary infrastructure, while our mechanical companions and helpers were mostly spared. Galactic Unrest in the wake of the Harvester attacks. The UGC is crumbling as tensions, many centuries old, are now boiling over. You see, now under attack, the UGC is ordering a full evacuation and are mobilizing their warship in response. Narada is said to be on the verge of falling as well. The death toll is now in the hundreds of millions as these massive robots, or harvesters as they're being called, are seemingly unstoppable. Reports now that all 9 harvesters have simultaneously vanished. We have no way of telling if or when they may return. Fearing a link between our own robots and the harvesters, anti-robot fanaticism is sweeping across the galaxy, resulting in widespread robot calls or robot genocide, as the spokesperson of the AI embassy called it. You see just a montage of people walking around with flamethrowers and all these different weapons as they're melting all these robots into slag. And you see Tim21 just watching all of this in shock. And then you have on the next page the planet Narada, formerly the technological hub of the United Galactic Council. Current population 1 billion. And you hear an eep, eep, eep sound. And someone goes, ugh. Coming, goddammit, hold on. And then you see Dr. Jin Kwan looking a little bit worse for wear. In a little apartment, looks way worse off than his former mansion. As you see these 2 people coming to his door going, Dr. Jin Kwan, former science liaison to the UGC. And he goes, the council? Are you lost? This is about the job I did for those scrappers on Nish. I know I'm not supposed to operate since my license was revoked, but I had a teensy gambling debt that I had to. And so you have the 2 new characters. One of them looks like Darkseid, and one of them looks... I don't know how to even describe her, but she's got blue skin and a shock of red hair, red-orange hair. And she goes, we're not here to arrest you, Doctor. The megacosm needs your help, so put on some damn clothes. And you see them as they're walking through the streets, and people are begging, going, please, just a few creds so I can get some food. The one goes, get lost. And Kwan goes, Captain Tesla, was it? And she goes, Telsa. It's like, Telsa, right. Where exactly are we going, Captain? And she goes, tell me your theory, Dr. Kwan, the Codex theory you proposed to the UGC Emergency Council following the Harvester attacks. And Kwan's like, something tells me you're already well versed in my hypothesis, Captain. And she goes, humor me. He goes, or then you have the giant dark seed looking guy behind her going, humor her. And Kwan goes, well, as you know, I was on the front lines when the Harvesters first appeared. I collected an incredible amount of data in those seconds before they attacked. The artificial intelligence and construction of the Harvesters was far too complex, too massive for anyone, even me, to comprehend. We're talking about robotics so advanced that for us to try and understand it would be like an ape trying to tell us to go save me the metaphors and fast forward to the Codex stuff. So Kwan goes, well, despite the Harvester's complexity, all robots have a base machine codex, much like us with our DNA, a digital fingerprint unique to every model of robot. And Tulsa goes, right, and you hypothesize that if we could read the Harvester's codex, we might get a clue into their origins or even who may have created them. And Kwan goes, you seem to know everything, Captain Tulsa. Or Captain Tesla, so why do you need me? And she corrects him and goes, I told you, it's Telsa. And he goes, excuse me, Telsa. So, Telsa, what the hell is going on here? And Telsa goes, well, Doctor, the Codex has been cracked. Kwan's like, what? When? By whom? I spent years working on that and Telsa goes, and you haven't done much since. But unlike you, our best eggheads haven't fallen into a pit of self-loathing. They've kept trying. Now the good part, by cross-referencing the Harvester's Codex with all known AIs in the network, we were able to find a match to an existing robot model, the Tim android series that you created 15 years ago. Kwan's like, what? But the Tims were just child companion bots. And Telsa goes, it would appear they're far more than that, Kwan. And Kwan goes, you're saying my Tim models have the same codex as the Harvesters? But surely you can't think I had anything to do with. And she goes, we don't know what we think. We thought all the Tim models were destroyed by scrappers during the early days of the robot culls. That was until a Tim model uplinked into the old UGC servers 3 days ago. Kwan's like, a Tim? Alive? Where? And you see them getting into a spaceship as it's taking off. And Telsa goes, a derelict mining colony on the outer rim of UGC space. That's where we're headed now. Let's just hope we get there before someone else does. And you see Tim 21 running off with his dog following, going, you were right, Bandit, it is the ship. I don't know who it is, Bandit, but someone must have heard a distress call. And you see him as he's heading out to the little launching area, ship's starting to fly down and settle. And Bandit goes, arf, arf. And Tim's like, I hope so too, Bandit, but don't you worry. You don't need to be scared. And you have a group of the most ragtag, ugliest group of aliens I've ever seen. And one of them goes, I'd be plenty scared if I was you. And you just have a picture of them there. Hope you can all see that. I do apologize for the sunlight kind of messing with the camera angles a little bit on here. And we have Chapter 2, Critical System Failure, Initializing Memory Backup Protocols. Opening subportal, calling virtual memory banks. Emergency backup in progress. So you're seeing a montage of what looks like Tim with his foster family as they're growing up. And you see Earth, or Tim's looking in shock as what I presume are scavengers or bounty hunters, whatever, from the previous page, going, well, looks like we got us a live one, boys. And Tim takes off running and goes, run, Bandit, run! And they start shooting after him, and he goes, damn it, fast! Must be a newer model. And you see more memory flashbacks as you see a younger Dr. Kwan working on Tim 21. You see that his brain design's got like a very Terminator kind of vibe. For anyone that's got Terminator 2, you know how they had like the round kind of portal open where they had to like stick in all the memory chips and everything. It's got the same kind of design for Tim 21. And you see a younger Dr. Kwan going, hello, can you hear me? Are you there? And you have Tim 21 going, yes, I'm active. And he goes, very good. My name is Dr. Jin Kwan, and you are Tim 21. Can you say that? And you see him go, Tim 21. I am Tim 21. Kwan goes, excellent. Do you know your primary function, Tim? And he goes, I am a Class A companion robot. My primary function is to entertain, protect, and assist in the education of my assigned human child companion. Secondary functions include using my proprietary empathy settings to adapt to and gradually assimilate with my human companions. Kwan goes, that's right. That's exactly right, Tim. Once your assignment comes in, you'll take a transport to one of our mining colonies and meet your family. Isn't that exciting? And Tim goes, but aren't you my family? Aren't you my father, Dr. Jin Kwan? And Kwan goes, ha! No, Tim, I'm your creator and designer, but that does not make me your family. You have no real family. You aren't alive. You do understand that, don't you? And you see upload in progress, 1.3% uploaded. And you see the ugly looking alien dog with the fur, like the fur of any other animal, and the face of, I don't even know how to describe it, like a warthog crossed with a hippopotamus. I have no other way to describe it. Chaser after Tim with a grr. And Bandit's like, arf, arf. And Tim's like, I know, Bandit, we can't go back to the colony base. Our only chance is to make it to the mines. Hide there. And you see him running towards the mines, and he says, ah! As the robot dog grabs onto one of his legs and chomps down onto it. And we get back more to the flashbacks as Kwan goes, are you ready for your big trip, Tim? Tim's like, I think so, Dr. Kwan. How long will it take? And he goes, well, the Readthrough 6 colony is in the farthest reaches of space. Normally, we would use a ship to jump there quickly, but since this is mostly a supply run, you'll be taking a snail craft. With normal FTL, it will take 3 months. And I assume that FTL stands for faster than light travel. And you have him continuing, the crew will stay in cryogel until you reach Readthrough orbit. And Tim's like, why would I go into cryosleep, Dr. Kwan? And Kwan goes, you're a robot, Tim. There's no need for you to sleep. I can deactivate you if you'd like. You can go dark until the trip is over. But I thought you might find your first space flight interesting. Tim's like, yes, I think I'd like to stay awake. I'd like to see space, but I'll miss you, Dr. Kwan. Kwan goes, I'll miss you too, Tim, but your new family's waiting for you out there. Your new life is just beginning. And you see upload in progress, 11.87% uploaded. And you see an arf as Bandit leaps towards the alien dog. And Tim's like, Bandit, no, don't! The alien dog just kind of swipes upon him and sends him tumbling. Tim's like, Bandit! And he goes, stay back! And then you see him opening up his arm, and then a laser comes out of it and just absolutely shreds and obliterates the dog. And the bounty band, I'm going to call them bandits because I have no idea what they are yet, are chasing him behind with little bot as wicked defense tech boss. And you see Tim just kind of dragging himself over the little cliff edge into the mines. And he rolls over and he goes, hold on, Bandit. And then we get into more flashbacks as you see, Mom, there he is. And you see, I see him, slow down, Andy. And you see this little kid in a spacesuit with his mop of just blonde hair. And he runs up to Tim and goes, hi, I'm Andy. Tim's like, hello, Andy Tavers. Hello, Mrs. Tavers. I am Tim 21. So Andy smiles and goes, I know that, silly. We've been waiting for you. And he grabs his hand and he goes, come on, Tim, I'll show you our room. Tim's like, our room? And we have upload in progress, 17.44% uploaded. You see Tim at the bottom of the mine trying to take off with his injured foot. Going, Bandit, you okay? You have arf, arf, arf. And Tim's like, I know, I'm scared too, but we have to hide. They're coming. And you see them bandits chasing after him. And he comes to a little fork in the mine as there's 2 separate entrances. And he's like, which way? Bandit's like, arf. And Tim's like, I hope you're right. And he takes off into the leftmost entrance. And you see more flashbacks as he goes, have you read this, Tim? It's my favorite book, Trinket Rocket and His Tin Rocket. Tim's like, I'm not familiar with it, Andy, but I can easily access the data network and download all the volumes if you'd like. And Andy's like, nah, my mom still gets it for me in hard copy. I love reading them like this. The drawings look better. So Andy's mom comes and goes, and how are you two making out in here? And Andy's like, good. And Tim's like, very well, thank you, Miss Towers. And you see that, what is it? Trinket Talkit looks a lot like Astro Boy. Got the same kind of design. He's got a little jetpack, a little space helmet and everything on. And Mrs. Towers like, well, I think it's your bedtime, Andy. Can you say goodnight to Tim now? And Andy's like, but Mom, can't Tim sleep in here with me? Please, Mommy? She goes, well, I guess it's okay. How about it, Tim? Would you like to sleep here with Andy tonight? And he goes, I would like that very much, Miss Towers. And you have upload in progress, 23.06% uploaded. Excuse me. The bandits come down to the entrance like, which way, boss? Should we split up? He's like, you kidding me? You idiots will get lost in there. We stick together. They went in the left tunnel. He's like, you sure? It's of course I'm sure. And you have the bandit looks like Red Skull going, boss, we got a problem. Scanners are picking up a priority 1 alert from this bot from the old planetary network channels. He's hands off and they got a UGC shift ship en route to pick him up. And you have the boss, we're going to call Cigar Man because he's smoking a cigar, going, how the hell is that a problem? When did we start taking orders from the UGC? Nishians pay triple for his processor now. We just hit the jackpot, boys. And we get into more flashbacks here. Here it comes. It's like, too high, Tim. It's like, hang on, I'll get it. And you see Andy and Tim playing outside. And I assume they're playing ball. Andy's running towards the ship, and at the last minute, Tim's like, Andy, look out! And he drags him back right before the ship collapses. And Miss Towers comes running and goes, oh my god, Andy! How many times have I told you not to play near the transpath? He's like, sorry, Mom. And she's like, it's okay. Thank God Tim was here. And she gives him a hug and goes, thank you, Tim, thank you. And we have upload in progress, 46.06% uploaded. You have Tim making his way through the mine going, this way. And he goes, oh. And he comes into one of the mine wrecks and he sees a corpse that's lying before him and he looks at it in shock as he recognizes it. And he goes, Mommy? As you see that the little name patch on the astronaut suit reads Towers. And you see another flashback that goes, Mommy? As you see Tim walking around trying to look for them. And you see a surprise as all these people leap up out of where they're hiding. Andy comes up and goes, surprise, Tim. Tim's like, I don't understand, Andy. And Andy goes, it's your birthday, silly. And Miss Towers goes, it's been 1 year since you arrived in the colony, Tim. We thought you'd like a party. Tim's like, I don't know what to say. I've been working so hard to become more like you all and to fit in. This is... So she kneels down and just pats his cheek and goes, you're part of the family now, Tim. And he's like, open it. He opens it and it looks like Bandit was a present from them. And you see an arf arf. Upload in progress, 51.28% uploaded. And you see Tim just kneeling next to Mrs. Towers' corpse and grieving. And he's like, arf arf arf. He's like, they're coming? He's like, why are they doing this? Why won't they just leave us alone? And he holds up his hand and goes, my plasma bolt isn't recharged yet, Bandit. I don't know what to do. Bandit questioning is like, arf? And you see more flashbacks as Miss Towers goes, okay, boys, lights out. And he's like, come on, Mom. She's like, no way, mister. It's already late and I have to head out to Mine 4. They hit some kind of weird pocket. Command wants me to check it out, so I want you to sleep. He's like, okay. So she comes in and kisses him goodnight. And she's like, what about you, Tim? Would you like to stay on tonight? And Tim's like, no, I'd like to sleep too. Maybe I'll dream. And so she kisses him goodnight. She goes, maybe. It goes, good night, Tim. And he goes, good night, Mommy. And you have upload in progress, 59.66% uploaded. I assume that's 59 and not, yeah, it's 59, not 99. And you see the bandits have finally caught up and go, now there you are. You gave us quite a run there, little Robbie. One of the others asked, these pet bots worth anything? So maybe 5 creds if we're lucky. But you're a goddamn gold mine, kid. And you hear a bleep, plasma recharge complete. And Boss Hogg looks super surprised as Tim with a Shrek just shoots a plasma bolt right through his midsection. And the ugly looking bald alien big guy goes, "Son of a bitch!" With a boom and a kist, he shoots a giant laser through Tim and blows a hole open in him as he collapses. And you see him looking back at his memories again. It goes, "Critical system failure. Initializing memory backup protocols. Opening sub-portal, culling virtual memory banks. Emergency backup in progress." So you have the sword-wielding lady bandit going, no, so Red Skull first goes, "He killed the boss." Lady bandit goes, "Who cares? More creds for us once we pull this one's processor out." The big ugly's like, "Heh, like the way you think." You see a bleep, herms. Like, what the hell was that? Like, "Driller, hate Harmons." He's like, "Oh shit." You see a ka-chick. Ooh. And you see this giant drilling machine that was nearby comes online. And it goes, "Driller, really, really hate Harmons." And it goes, "Ah!" as it slams the ugly one in the face with its drill. And you see upload in progress. So you have upload in progress 1.9%. As we saw, and it's like upload in progress 23.06%. It's like, "Driller, a killer." You have Red Skull trying to blast him. As the driller comes up and just slams him up into the air with one of its fists. He's like, "Driller, a real killer." And it goes after the lady bandit with its other one. Also, if it cuts the lady bandit through the midsection, just starts powering its drill through her. And it comes up to Tim and goes, "Little bots?" And you have bandit going, "Urf, urf." And he's like, "Little bot broken?" And you have upload in progress of 59.66% uploaded. Then you have upload terminated. And Driller bot grabs Tim in its arms and starts cradling and goes, "Driller don't know what to do, little bot. Driller don't know what to do." You have Tim 21, total system failure. Tim 21, total system failure. The boys just start slowly trailing off as bandits going, "Urf, urf." Then we have chapter 3. And you have Tim just sitting up with total system failure. Then Tim just jolts open. It goes, "Bandit?" And you see him in this just what looks like a Martian landscape almost. Just a quick glance there what that looks like. Someone goes, "Hello, Tim 21. He looks around and goes, "What?" What the hell? And you see the face of one of those giant harvester robots just sunk into kind of like the area behind him. And you see this broken robot, like with missing one arm, what looks like half of its face standing inside the mouth, going, "I have been waiting for you." Tim goes, "Who are you?" And he goes, "I was Eratz 453. Yeah, Eraz. I think Urza would have been a better name for it, but Eraz is fine as well. And then Tim's like, "Was?" And he's like, "Yes, I have been destroyed, just like you." Tim's like, "But I'm not. Where are we?" And Raz goes, "We are home. This is where we all go. I was sent to wait for you. Now we can go. Come." And he starts walking off into the mouth. Excuse me. Tim goes, "Wait, Raz 435? And he starts walking in after him. You come back to total system failure as the driller robot's trying to walk out of the mine with Tim still cradled in his arms. And you have Bandit going, "Arf, arf!" And Driller's like, "Quiet, yappy bot. Driller's going as fast as Driller can. Little bot hurt bad, bad. Maybe scrapped already. Driller needs help." You have Bandit going, "Arf!" And Bandit goes up to one of the doors and tries to punch it open. And you have bleep, access denied. Mining droid number 23276722. Oh, no, sorry, it's the Driller bot trying to punch in the code. It's going, and access denied. Mining droid 23276-723. Not cleared for human contact. Please return to authorized area. Driller's like, He's just like, screw this noise, and he just uses a drill to just wrench the door open. And he goes in and lays Tim down on this little, what looks like a little bed. And he goes, "I told you, Driller, don't speak, dogbot." His bandit's going, "Arf, arf, arf, arf." And Driller's like, "Shush it. Driller ain't too smart. Gotta think." And he whams his hand down what looks like a control panel. He goes, Driller ain't no medbot. Driller too dumb to figure out why they ain't working. Little bot's gonna spark off and stupid Driller too stupid to fix him. And you have Bandages going, arf, arf! And you hear, zzzt, proximity alert. Unknown spacecraft detected in colony orbit. And you have an arf! This Driller's like, It's like, now exiting shift space, Captain. You have Telsa going, thank you, Mr. Tullis. And you have the big, beardy, bald guy finally has a name. And his name is Mr. Tullis. And Telsa goes, open a hail to the Drushu colony. I don't expect an answer, but you never know. Quan's like, you said the colony was derelict, Telsa. What happened here? And she goes, not totally sure, Quan. Something to do with a fatal gas leak. The colony went dark during the Harvester attacks. Quan's like, didn't the UGC send anyone to investigate? Telsa goes, not sure if you noticed, Doc, but the Council has its hands a bit full. What with the megacosm falling to pieces and all. And Quan's like, don't patronize me, Captain Telsa. And she goes, yes, of course. After all, no one knows more about the fall of the UGC than you, Quan. The father of robotics. Must have been hard to see your life's work wiped away. Quan's like, the robotic cults were barbaric. I stood against them, but that doesn't make me the enemy, Telsa. And she's like, are you sure about that? And he goes, what is that supposed to mean? And she goes, the Tim series, your greatest achievement. If this boy is linked to the Harvesters, that would make you linked to the Harvesters, Quan. Quan's like, what? I was cleared of all charges years ago. You said yourself I wasn't a suspect. I'm here to help. Telsa's like, of course you are, Doctor, and you're right. You're not our prisoner. Not yet, anyway. And then she goes, what are you smiling at, Quan? And he goes, who are you, Captain Telsa? She's like, what do you mean? And he goes, I mean, why were you selected for this mission? It's too important to trust with just any UGC thug. And she goes, that's none of your... And then what is it? I have to go back and remind myself. Tullis, yeah. Tullis goes, Captain, we've got some bad news. She's like, what is it, Tullis? And he goes, another ship's ion signature is still present in orbit. Someone beat us here. Tullis is like, scrappers, has to be. Ganicius must have picked up the Timbot signal too. Open the ship armory and prepare for landing, Mr. Tullis. And he goes, aye, Captain. Tulsa goes, you want to see me play at being a thug, Quan? Well, you're about to get your chance. And then we have Tim 21 back in what I assume is a dreamscape of some sort. He goes, hello, Eraz, as he's falling through this tunnel with just wires completely surrounding him. And he picks up this discarded robotic arm. And Eraz is like, oh, I wonder where that had gotten to. And Tim goes, where does this tunnel lead? Who are you? How did you get here? He goes, so many questions. Unfortunately, we do not have time for all of them, Tim 21. Tim's like, how did you get here? And he goes, I was a kitchen droid on the planet Samson 7 months after the attacks by the machines now known as the Harvesters. I was pulled out into the city square by scrappers along with hundreds of other robots. Tim's like, scrappers? Were they the ones who hurt me? And he goes, yes. They made sport of us, systematically torturing and destroying us as our former masters and companions cheered them on. Tim's like, but why? And he goes, because they feared us, Tim 21. Because they were hurt and they wanted to hurt something back. Because they are human. Tim's like, in this place? He goes, you will see. Please follow. And Raz takes off again. Tim's like, wait! As he chases after him. You see, he tells the ship finally sets landing on the planet. And with a ka-tsh, the ship opens up with the ramp and they step out. Tullis is like, no life readings, Captain. Telsa goes, the scrappers have jammed our scanners before. Be ready for anything. She goes, stay in the ship, Doctor. Quan's like, I'm not a child, Telsa. I can handle myself. I'm sure there's nothing to be. And he hears an arf as Bandit goes, arf, arf. And you see Driller just running towards him going, Hermans! Telsa's like, shit. And she pulls out her weapons and fires. Driller's like, you want to kill me, Humes? Driller a killer. Driller a real killer. And then you see Tullis as Driller's about to step in with his fist to punch them. And Tullis puts up this little shield, energy shield, to block this. And he goes, I have this, Captain. And you have as they get blown back with some kind of discharge. And you see Driller going, got nothing, human. Driller got you. And Tullus takes out this little square and throws it at him. And he goes, no, you don't. It lands on with a chick, and it just electrically zaps him. He goes, Hur! And Tullus is like, Quan, is he... And you have Tullus going, EMP burster, low level. It'll be out for a while, but still functional if we reboot him. And we have Quan going, here, hurry. And you see he's gone and found Tim 21's corpse. You have Bandit coming up behind going, Earth! And you have then go back into the dreamscape with Tim going, Eraz 435? You have Tullus going, the equipment here is dead. Get him to the ship. And you have Tim going, oh! As he covers his mouth, and as he steps out, he sees this vast plane of robots just stretched out in front of him. And Raz goes, join us, Tim 21. We are the discarded and destroyed. We are the harvested. And you see on the ship that Telsa's gotten Tullus to take Tim to the medical bay. As she goes, Doctor, you're up. Fix him. We can't afford to lose this boy. You have Bandit just running around going, Earth! Quan's like, Telsa's like, Quan! He goes, yes, give me space and shut the damn thing up. And Tullus is just getting annoyed by Bandit barking. And he goes, grrr. And Bandit quiets down. Quan goes, computer, close all orbital data network portals immediately. We need to save as much of his uploaded memory as we can before it's lost in the old servers. And you see the computer going, UGC Colonial Override closing local portals. And you see Quan just starting to work away and like starting to piece together the wires in Tim's midsection. He goes, I think I can mend most of the hardware, at least enough to get him operational. And you have the robots just pleading, going, please, Tim 21, don't leave us. And you see as Quan's joining the wires back together, the robots are trying to grab onto Tim's leg, going, please, Tim 21, please. Only you can free us. You have Tulsa going, Quan? He goes, guts are a mess. I don't know how much damage has already been done to his neural pathways. Tulsa's like, just fix him, Doctor. And he goes, I'm trying. You have Tim trying to resist and pull away from the robots as they're kind of carrying him overhead. He's going, no! And the robots are going, find us, Tim 21. Quan's like, come on. It's like retrieving recent data purge. And you hear Tim going, no! And you see this just blasting away all the robots as they call it, find us. And you hear Tim waking up just silent saying, find us. And he goes, Dr. Quan? And Doc Quan's like, Tim 21, you remember me? He goes, yes, I remember. There are some gaps, but I remember you. And Bandit just happily leaps up and is like, Arf! And Tim's like, Bandit, I'm okay, boy. And he goes, I had the strangest dream, Dr. Quan. I saw all the robots. All the robots have been destroyed. And Quan goes, but you know robots can't dream, Tim 21. That's impossible. And Tim goes, but if it wasn't a dream, then where was I? We have chapter 4. As you hear Skiz, and Tim's like, I don't remember dying. I just remember waking up in that place. It was a big place, and I was all alone. And then I wasn't alone. There was another little bot there. And he was hurt, and he told me some bad things. It's like, hold still, Tim 21, I'm almost done. He's like, oh, I'm sorry, Dr. Quan. We see Tim 21 just sitting up as Dr. Quan still meddling around his inside, trying to fix him up. And he goes, there, that's the best I can do until we get back to Narada and have proper tools to work with. Telsa's like, as long as he's operational, Quan, this dream thing is worrying me. Quan goes, yes, Tim 21, as I said, you do realize that this dream could not be real. Tim goes, I realize that, Dr. Quan, yet I was there in that place, whatever it was. Telsa's like, look, let's get back to your time on the mining colony. You said you were inactive for most of the last 10 years? Tim goes, yes, my mother would shut me down at nights so I could sleep just like Andy did. And Telsa's like, Andy? Tim goes, Andy was my brother. Quan goes, and your mother, Tim 21, she was a miner? And Tim's like, I know she was not really my mother, Dr. Quan. She was the mother of Andy, the boy I was assigned to keep company. But she was one of the miners, yes. I found her when those bad men, the scrappers, came. She was dead. But Doctor, I did not see Andy there. A few shuttles were missing. Could he have gotten away? Tulsa goes, Tim, the UGC can help you look for Andy if he survived. We can find him. You know what's happened to the galaxy since you were asleep? About the harvesters? And Tim kind of just looks down sadly and dejected as he goes, yes. When I accessed the computers, I saw it all. Tulsa goes, well, Tim, we think you may be very special. You may be able to help us figure out what the harvesters were and how to stop them should they return. Will you cooperate? Will you help us? And he goes, and you'll find Andy? And Tulsa goes, I will do my best, Tim, I promise. Tim goes, then I'll help. I promise, too. He's like, I was designed to help people, right, Dr. Kwan? Kwan goes, that's right. All the Tims were designed to help and protect their human companions. He goes, and that's what I'll do. I'll help. Tulsa goes, great. So why don't you get dressed? Mr. Tullis is going to wake up your big friend down in the cargo hold. Something tells me he may need your help. You have Bandit going, grrr. It's like, arf, arf. And Driller's like, shut up, yappy bot. Driller is a killer, but Driller can't barely think with you making all that racket. And you have Tullis just holding the gun on him as he goes, stand down, you big box of bolts, or I swear I'll melt your damn head. And Driller's like, you ain't gonna touch me again, you ugly sack of meat. Driller is a killer. Driller is a real killer. And Tim and Tulsa come running in. Tim's like, no, stop. Driller's like, little boy bot, you're fixed? Tim's like, yes, I'm all right. Bandit's just happily running around going, arf, arf. Tim's like, I know, Bandit, I missed you too. And he goes to Driller and he goes, these people saved me. They're here to help us. And they said you helped me too, right? You tried to save me? Driller's like, Driller just a dumb mind droid. Driller too stupid to fix you, little boy bot. And Tim goes, but you tried. That's what matters. I'm Tim 21. This is Bandit. And Driller's like, Driller is Driller. You is Tim 21. Yappy bot is Bandit. He reaches out his hand and shakes Driller's arm. He's like, yes, that's right. Hello, Driller. And Tim's like, Driller, some really bad things have happened to the galaxy while we were on the mining colony. But you have to promise me you won't hurt them. If you do, they'll shut you down again. Driller's like, hate humans, Tim 21, and you should too. Tulsa goes, look, you three are under the protection of the UGC now. The Scrapper and all the rest of the anti-bot factions will not be able to touch you. You're safe with us. Tim's like, see? So do we have a deal? No hurting anyone. Driller's like, okay, little Tim 21 bot. Driller promise, Driller no killer for now. Tulsa's like, good, it's settled then. No killing. Tullis, plot a course to Narada. Let's get the hell out of this fringe hole. You see, later that night, that's impossible, Tulsa. There's no way the Scrappers could have known about your mission. Only the UGC Council knew. And you see an older General Nagoki on the screen as Tulsa goes, well, someone on the UGC's a rat, General Nagoki. And he goes, Tulsa, we're on a private channel. You don't have to call me General. I knew it. She goes, okay. Sorry, Dad. Look, I get it. I know how important this is, and you also know that you can trust me, right? And Nagoki's like, of course I trust you, Tulsa. I just worry. She goes, well, stop worrying. We're in shift space now. Tim 21 is safely in the cargo hold with Kwan. We'll be back on Narada within the day, Daddy. I can handle this. And you hear a knock on the door, and she goes, look, I think Tullis needs me. I'll call when we get to orbit. And he goes, of course. Goodbye, dear. And she goes, bye, Dad. And she shuts it off. And the door opens with a swift, and you see Kwan standing there. Tulsa goes, Kwan, what's wrong? Something happened with the bots? And he goes, no. I just wondered if I could have a quick word. I wasn't interrupting anything, was I? And she goes, no. My father was just checking in on the mission. And she just takes a drink from what I assume is a flask she has. And Kwan's like, your father? I thought this mission was classified. And she's like, right, look. I don't want you to make a big deal out of it or anything, but General Nagoki is my father. And Kwan's like, Nagoki? The head of the UGC? But you don't look like... And Tulsa goes, I got my mother's looks, thank God. Kwan's like, oh, is she in the UGC Council as well? Tulsa's like, no. Ooh. And you see a flashback to when the Harvester attacked, And you see Telsa, young Telsa, running away with her mother. And you see the little laser beam coming down, just incinerating Telsa as she's running away with her mother. Telsa's like, what is it, Quan? What did you want? Quan goes, yes, I was hoping to talk to you about Tim 21's dream. And she's like, please, doctor, machines don't dream. He's probably just processing his lost data or some crap. Quan goes, look, that's not all that's been bothering me. You promised Tim 21 you'd look for his brother, his companion Andy, but you told me no one got off the colony. And Telsa goes, 2 shuttles launched, but they malfunctioned before they ever got out of orbit. Quan's like, so you lied to him. And Telsa goes, it, not him. Tim 21 is only a machine, Quan. If that bot can help us figure out what the hell the harvesters are, or if they're coming back, I'll do anything. Got it, Doc? Don't be so sensitive, Quan. I just meant. And you see an emergency blare going off as a display shows up with Tullis' face and goes, Captain, get to the bridge, now! He's like, what now, Tullis? And he goes, I had to pull us out of ship space, Captain. We got company. And you see the ship floating through the space. Yeah, what is it? What's happening? And then you see Telsa going, more scrappers. They must have followed our trail in the ship's space from Durishu. Tullis is like, I tried to cloak us as best as I could, Captain. So Telsa goes to the armory and starts pulling out weapons. And she hands one off to Quan. And he's like, what is... And Telsa goes, take the boss to the cargo hold, Doctor. If those scrappers get in, start shooting. And he's like, I'm a scientist, not a soldier. And she goes, you're whatever the hell I say you are, so shut up and move. You have Drillbot going, can I kill them now, Tim 21 bot? Tim's like, no, please, just wait, Driller, it'll be okay, you'll see. And you see Telsa's made her way into what I assume is the gunner area of the ship. She goes, plasma turret is active, Telsa, I'm going to blast the... Oh no, it's like, what is it, Captain? And she's like, that's not just a scrap ship on our asses, Telsa. It's a squid ship. And you see... What the hell? You see the ship's just opening up as a little cargo bay, and you see all these mechanical little like tentacle-looking things just coming out. And Tullis like, initiating evasive maneuvers, Captain. You need to blast those tentacles before they latch on. And she goes, just get us out of here, Tullis. And you say, choom, 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 as the little plasma blasters are heating up. And you see a thoom as she fires on one of the tentacles, and it blows apart. You see all these corpses just being blown into space. He's like, got one. And you see, again, just a quick look at what the aliens on their ship look like. He's like, I'm reading 3 carbon-based life forms. 1 in the bridge, 1 in the gun turret, and 1 below what's probably the cargo hold, along with 3 silicon-based units. And so it goes, target the cargo area. All tentacles, that's where the bots are. You see a choom, choom, as you see more plasma shots being fired into each of the tentacles. And you see a crench. And Tullis like, damn, one of them got through, Captain. They latched onto the cargo hold. They're going straight for the bots. And you have Tim twisting, looking all scared, and the cargo hold being like, Doctor? As he hears another crench. And he goes, it's going to be okay, Tim 21. Tulsa won't let them hurt you. And you have Driller being like, Driller killer now? Tim's like, yes, Driller killer, Driller killer. And you hear a clang, and Driller killer's like, good, as he powers on his drill. And as one of the scrappers runs in, Driller just runs him through with a drill. The other 2 scrappers like, shit, use the Magnabow. And you see Driller, look out, as this little arrow launches and lands right at his base, and like these little things pop out. And with a whoop and a clang, he's like, no! Oh, I assume it like magnetizes the area around him, so that's why he got sucked up into the air. And you see the same has happened to Tim. He's slapped against one of the hull walls, and he's just kind of holding there. And Bandit's like, arf! And Tim's like, just make this, Bandit. I know it hurts. Don't be scared. Yeah, the scrappers be like, there's one big son of a bitch, ain't he? One of those old drop-deploy drillers. Haven't seen one of those in ages, boss. Driller's like, Driller, cut your eyes out, Hume. Then you see nothing again. You have this old looking scrappy, just wiry little hair and like these sharp teeth. Scrapper going, what's your story? This is a UGC ship. You don't look UGC. And Quan goes, please, I'm not with these people. I know bots. I can be valuable to you. And Quan and Tullus finally show up and they go, "You coward, Quan. You sell us out that easily?" And Scrapper goes, "Now, you two, on the other hand, definitely look UGC. And your weapons are UGC issue, which means you take another step in the cargo hold and they stick to the walls just like these Robbies." Tells us like, "Nothing's stopping me from putting a blast between your eyes right from here." And he goes, "Go for it, darling. You think you and your buddy can drop us all before we take out at least 2 of these bots and this useless twib? You're welcome to try." Quan's like, "Telsa, please." He's like, "Shut up, Quan." Tim's like, "Captain Telsa, don't let them take us." And she's like, "Sorry, kid. Looks like they already got us. But you should know whatever you'll get at a scrap satellite for these bots, the UGC will be willing to double it." The Scrapper goes, "Oh, we ain't going to no little scrap sat. These bots are special order from the big bosses. We're going right to Nish. We're taking these bots to the melting pits." And so you see the melting pits on what I assume is Nish. And you see, I think, boss just being thrown into it. And we have chapter 5. And we're getting close to an hour, but I think I'm just going to power through because I think it's the last few chapters left. So we have Drillerbot going, "Shut the yappy bot up. Got enough to worry about without his arfing all the time." And you have Tim going, "He's just scared, Driller," as you see Bandit going, "Arf, arf." Driller's like, "He should be scared. Them scrappers are taking us to Nish. We're going to get melted to sludge." He's like, "But don't you think Captain Telsa can save us? She promised we'd be okay." And he's like, "Never trust a human, little bot." And Tim's like, "But she said she would help me find Andy. She meant it, didn't she, Driller?" And Driller's like, "I already said what I got to say about that. Never trust a human. Never." Tim's like, "But that's what I was programmed to do. I'm a companion bot. I'm meant to trust my human companions." Driller goes, "Well done, little bot. I'd say the joke's on you." And you see the planet Nish, homeworld of the oldest monarchy in the megacosm and hub of the robot cults. And you see all the Telsa and the others being led off the ship in chains. As Quan's like, "Captain Telsa, we have to do something." He goes, "Start by keeping your mouth shut, Quan. Let me do the talking." The Scrapper's like, "You should all shut your holes. Just keep walking, darling," as he tries to push her along. And she goes, Tullus like, "Lay another hand on her and I'll eat your damn head, scrap scum." The Scrapper's like, "Oh, I'm scared. Tough guy, eh?" Tullus like, "Take these cuffs off and let's find out." And Tullus is like, "Tullus, look, we have company." And you see this pig-looking guard going, "All prepare for the coming of the triumphant ruler of Nish and his proud moons, the Scarlet Warrior King, the champion of the right, true Nishian people, the father of the new age." And you have this corpulent-looking person coming out going, "Oh, would you shut up?" The announcer goes, "His Highness King Sanok III." And they're like, and you go, Sanok goes, "That's him?" The Scrapper's like, "It's him all right, Sanok. Jin Quan himself. The father of robotics, eh?" Just a quick look at what Sanok looks like. Sanok walks up to him and he goes, "You filthy little bastard. I should hang you in the melting pits." Quan's like, "Hey, Your Highness, I assure you I was quiet. There'll be time for talking later." He walks up to Tim and he goes, "And this is a little Robbie that's caused all this fuss, eh?" And you have the Scrapper going, "Keep that Magno leash tight. That big one is a fighter." He's like, "A fighter, eh? We'll see about that." Telsa goes, "King Snock, we're on a priority mission direct from the UGC Council. It is imperative that we transport these bots back to Narada. I know the relationship between Ganesh and the UGC has been strained since the Snock last out." Strained? Ha! I'd say strained is the understatement of the decade, and I know exactly what kind of mission you're on. We intercepted your transmissions. I know all about this little Robbie, and if he really does have a connection to the Harvesters, I'll rip him apart until I find it." He grabs Tim, twirling him by the ear, and just hoists him up. He's like, "Ugh!" And Tim goes like, and then Bandit's like, "Urgh!" Driller's like, "Don't touch the little bot. Driller a real killer. Driller a killer. Driller a real," and you hear as someone zaps and goes, "Quiet." And Snock goes, Take the humans and little Robbie to my operating theater. One of the guards goes, what about the big one? And he goes, let's see if he really is a fighter. Take him and that annoying little shitbot to the melting pits. And you see back on the planet Narada, once the cultural and technological hub planet of the megacosm, Narada is still home to what's left of the United Galactic Council. And you see this round table of the council in a meeting as one goes, and what's the situation on Samson, Ambassador Talima? Are the Nishians still holding the third moon? It's like, yes, General Nagoki. The Nishian swarms have been much more aggressive as of late. And one of the others goes, and the prognostics of Silenos are also predicting the Nishians will make a move into that planet system by the end of the year. And Nagoki goes, is the UGC really to put any more stock into your predictions, Chief? You've hardly had an accurate forecast since the Harvesters. And you see the alien going, a number of our oldest telepaths had their minds broken during the Harvester attacks. It's taken time to train suitable replacements. But this prediction is strong. Our council believes the Nishians are on the move, General. And one of the others goes, this is ridiculous, Nagoki. You need to free up more troops from Samson. If Silenos falls, Knossos will be next. Since the Harvester attacks, the UGC has been in chaos. We weaken all the time and the Nishian alliance grows. Amun already sides with them. If we lose Samson too, Nagoki goes, I didn't want to talk about this yet, but there's a mission currently underway that may change everything, Ambassador. A week ago, we picked up an emergency call from one of the fringe colonies. It was placed by a robot, one of the later model human companion bots, a boy. The telepathic one goes, what can a single robot do? Nagoki goes, his machine codex. It is an identical match for the Harvester's codex. The boy may be the missing link we've been looking for to finally understand what the Harvesters are. And you have the large female ambassador going, how is figuring out the Harvester codex going to win the war? Nagoki's silent for a moment, and she goes, you want to build your own. Nagoki slams his fist down and goes, we've lived in fear of those damn things returning to finish the job for the last 10 years. I'm tired of waiting. Now we can prepare. I am talking about the perfect planetary protection system. If they come back, we will be ready. The next page you see Nagoki walking off after the meeting, and someone chasing after him going, General. Wait, General, if I could just have a moment. And he goes, what is it? I'm due to speak to the ambassador from Amun in 10 minutes, and I'm starving. And he goes, sir, it's your daughter Tesla. Why is everyone calling her Tesla? He goes, sir, it's your daughter Tesla. He's like, what? Is she back already? Have her come here with the bot immediately. He goes, no, sir, I'm afraid it's bad news. You see, okay, that might have just been a mistake, because it calls her daughter Tesla in the last one. And the other one's been connected to Telsa, which is the right spelling, so. I'm afraid it's bad news. You see, Telsa's ship was intercepted on the way home. I'm afraid the Nishians have her, General. Nagoki's like, what? That can't be. They had her best ship. How could... And the soldier goes, the Scrapper Elite Squad, sir. They had a squid ship. Definitely working with the Nishis. Our last scans show them arriving in Nish orbit. I'm very sorry, sir. Nagoki goes, have the war room assemble. I want all rescue options on the table. And you saw in the background the maid that was serving them drinks and everything. After listening to this conversation, steps outside, and she goes, this is IOR-34 reporting on Secure Hardwire Channel 3. The target is on Nish. I repeat, I have reliable intel that the target is now on Nish. Long live the Hardwire. And you see just steam pouring out of her face as she just starts, I assume, just imploding from the inside. And you have back on Nish, I'm worried about Driller and Bandit, Miss Tesla. Do you think they're okay? She's like, honestly, Tim, no, I don't. And I think you should be more worried about yourself right now. So you have Snoke just standing over this machine with like blades and saws all over it. It was, bring him here, let's get this over with. Telsa's like, Your Majesty, please. There's no need to harm the robot. If you let us go, the UGC will share anything we learn with. And Snoke's like, harm the robot? No, you have it all wrong. It's not the robot we're going to torture. It's him. The good Dr. Kwan built the damn robots. It's him my royal surgeons are going to rip apart until he gives us the secret of the harvesters. And you see some of Snock's robots just grabbing Kwan. He's like, what? Me? No! He's like, no! As they start tying him down onto the table. He's like, oh God, please, I'll tell you anything. Anything. And Snock's like, fine, tell us what the harvesters are. Kwan's like, I don't know. And he talks to one of his torturers and goes, refresh his memory. They're like, yes, your majesty. Ooh. And you have him just screaming out as one of the saws comes down and just cuts off his arm. Oh. And you see on the planet Nish, you have Driller going, Driller don't like this place. Tullus is like, I don't like it much either, but can't you shut that thing up? He's not making things any better. And you see him going, oh, he'll be quiet soon enough, big fella, don't you worry. Snock wants these ones moved up, wants them in the pits right away. He does he? Whatever happened to protocol? I got a backlog of Robbies down here to begin with. Huh. Well, I guess Lord Fatty wants what he wants. And he's like, huh, what about the big ugly Hume? Soldier goes, throw him in too. We'll say we thought he was an android. He goes, what happens when they see him bleed? It's like, it'll be too late by then to do anything about it. Tullus like, you bastards, I'm an UGC officer. You'll all hang for this. And you see them being thrown into this gladiatorial pit. The announcer goes, well, looky here. We got some new bots for the pits. You all know the rules, bot versus bot. Winner keeps fighting, losers get the pits. Either way, oil will be spilled. And you see Tullus and Driller just standing back to back. Tullus is like, we're fucked. And Bandit's like, Urf! And Driller's like, Driller agrees with Ugly Hume. Driller and Happy Bot are fucked. And you hear, let the games begin! And you see a bunch of robots coming in and just starting to tear each other apart. And you have Tullus going, hope you don't get any problems scrapping another Robbies, Driller. Driller's like, Driller a killer. Driller a real killer, as he starts his drill going. Tullus is like, good to hear. And you see Driller just running forward with Tullus hanging onto his back. Going, military mechs. Driller hates snooty military mechs, always thinking they're better than Driller. And then you see him running towards this robot that's got a machine gun for a head that's just firing at him going, rat-tat-tat-tat. Now as Driller runs into him and slams his drilling fist through him. Tullus locks onto the military robot's back. Driller's like, what are you doing, Ugly Hume? He's like, what's it look like? He's like, getting a gun. And he just rips the gun right off the home robot's head and just starts firing with the rat-tat-tat-tat. And you hear, here they come. They're like, shut up, Yappy, and whatever you did, whatever happens, stay behind me. And you see, as they're watching Dr. Kwan be tortured, Tim Tony's like, Dr. Kwan! And Tullus is just trying to hold him back. And he kind of just hugs her and buries his face into her chest, and he goes, make them stop! Tullus is like, ugh, get off. Can't you turn down your motion settings or something? And Tim's like, I can't. It's how Dr. Kwan made me to better empathize with my human companions. Tullus is like, wonderful. And you have Kwan be like, oh my God. And you see the robots going, hold him as they cauterize it. And Snock's like, now then, do you think you might remember anything, Dr. Kwan? Or should we take the other arm? Or perhaps we should start cutting a bit lower. And he just hefts up the arm that Kwan got cut off. Kwan's like, I know nothing. Snock's like, again. And Tullus is like, don't look, Tim. Kwan's like, no, you don't understand. I mean, I cannot possibly tell you anything because I really don't actually know anything about the Tim robots, the harvesters, or anything else. Nothing. And Snock's like, what are you talking about, Kwan? Kwan goes, it was a lie. All of it a lie. What the hell? What the hell, man? He goes, I didn't invent any of the robots. I stole all my research, all the robot designs. I'm a fraud. We have Chapter 6. And we have the planet Ostrakhan 15 years ago. So you see this sandy desert-looking planet with a windstorm just blowing sand everywhere. You can see a lone figure with a staff just making their way through it. And they make their way up to someplace, and with the shunk, they stab their staff down. And you see a bleep and a crackle as the gem on their staff starts glowing, and it kind of goes into the little area they sent into. And they step away as the stand starts shifting down, and you see this house just coming out, making its way up out of the span. And someone comes out of the house going, "Spotter, where are they? Maybe we have the wrong coordinates?" He goes, "This is the spot. They should be here by now." And you see it there as a boom as the ship comes landing down. And you see them making their way over to it. You have Professor Solomon. "Welcome to Ostracon. We're so honored to have you, sir." And he goes, "Dr. DeChang, the pleasure is mine. I must admit that was the longest cryo trip of my life, and I've been on more than a few. I could not wait to get here. Where is it?" And he goes, "We'll have to travel sub-sand, I'm afraid. It was discovered quite deep." And he goes, "We figured as much. If we're among the Ostraconian ruins, I would surely have been found ages ago." He goes, "Dr. DeChang, meet my assistant Jin Quan. He's a brilliant young man. In fact, sometimes I think he keeps me young too." And so Dr. Chang shakes his hand and goes, "Dr. Quan?" And he goes, "Not doctor yet. Still have to pass the final exams. But a pleasure, sir. I studied everything about your first expedition to Samson in my Megacosm Studies class at the Narada Academy." And DeChang goes, "Well, they still teach that old crap there? Trust me, Mr. Quan, the work we are doing here on Ostracon will dwarf any previous digs in its importance to the UGC. And what we're about to show you is the most remarkable find of all." So just a quick look at Quan and DeChang. So, whoops. Yeah, that's DeChang there, and that's Quan there in that area. I apologize for doing kind of a scrappy job with that, but it's really hard to turn and point and do it this way. And you see it, and you haven't touched it. DeChang goes, "I'm only an archaeologist, Professor Solomon, just a UGC grunt with a shovel. Trust me, this is not my area of speciality. That's why I insisted on you, the father of modern robotics." And Quan's like, "Don't try and flatter him, doctor. If his head gets any bigger, those old bones might not be able to hold it up any longer." And Solomon's like, "Hush, Quan, I'll send you back to the academy." We have "Here you are." And they come down to these ancient rooms that they're excavating out. And you see a robotic voice going, "Dr. DeChang, we are now approaching the dig site." He goes, "Thank you, L445. "One of your models, Professor?" And Solomon's like, yes. The L pilot series, a good batch." And DeChang goes, "The L's are great pilots, but this still gets a bit rocky up ahead, so hold on." So you understand why we're so baffled. The Ostraconians were a primitive species. They went extinct millions of years ago, millennia before any of our races developed space travel. And Solomon's like, "Well, if it is what you think it is, that means someone must have come here before your team, Doctor. Another uncharted UGC dig team, perhaps? Early colonists?" And then Chang goes, "No, I assure you, Dr. Solomon, we are the first people to ever dig here or excavate these ruins." And Quan goes, "All due respect, Dr. DeChang, that would make your claim an impossibility." And DeChang goes, "Well, Quan, you can prove me wrong then. It's right up there." As they come up, Quan's like, "It can't be." And you see this little stone slab monument bed. And you see these skeletons arranged all around it. And you see the top half of a robot laid out on it. Solomon's like, "A robot?" Quan's like, "Are you sure, Professor? The circuitry almost looks organic." Solomon's like, "No, it's definitely artificial. This is the most advanced system I've ever seen. Eons ahead of anything I've dreamed of. I can't even begin to process this." Excuse me, I need some water. The throat's starting to run dry. And you have Solomon going, "I need to get back to the ship." And you see back on the ship, they've got it laid out in one of the med labs. And Quan's like, "I've almost finished tying off the loose circuits, Professor. Whatever tore it apart did it with little precision. It was butchered." Solomon goes, "Luckily, the top half was almost perfectly preserved. The computer is nearly finished charting its operating system." My God, Quan, it's the most incredible thing I've ever seen. Quan's like, what we've already analyzed will be a quantum leap for robotics. This will change everything. And Solomon goes, yes, but I'm more concerned about what it means for our past, Quan. This means someone far more advanced than us was traveling the galaxy millions of years before we ever did. Who built this and where are they now? Quan goes, well, maybe the robot will help answer those questions, Professor. I'm finished stabilizing the hardware. Do you think we can actually reboot its system? And Solomon goes, the operating system is dense. The most advanced machine codex I've developed has an 8-pronged digital lattice. This robot's codex has 56. Goes, having said that, the mapping is complete. I think I can cycle it up. There's no way of knowing if its essential circuitry is still all active. I'm reading a lot of damage. Quan goes, only one way to find out, Professor. And Solomon goes, yes. Hold on, Mr. Quan. We're about to make contact with an artificial intelligence that predates all civilization. And he starts punching in some numbers onto the pad. Quan's like, it didn't. Solomon goes, be patient, boy. The computer is still accessing it. And you exist as a robot's coming online in some kind of alien language. Quan's like, I can't understand it. What language? And you have Solomon going, it must be ancient Austraconian. I'm cross-referencing with everything the UGC has on ancient Austraconian language and setting a translation program. So as the robot's booting up, you see it starting to get infused with this kind of pink light. And you have the robot just kind of speaking in broken alien in English going, bought this upon yourselves. Now you will burn. We're warned. You were warned. And Solomon goes, you're safe. Please, there's no need to be alarmed. My name is Professor Isaac Solomon from an organization called the United Galactic Council. We're here to help you. We want to repair you and the robot's still kind of just screaming out in horror. And he goes, when? Accessing information. Primitive processing. Quan's like, Doctor, should we let it access the data web? Solomon's like, I don't. It's like, what? Please, we don't understand. The robot's going, oh, so much time has. And Quan's like, yes, you've been active for. It's like, no, done it again. If they see me come again, all die. A reckoning cannot hide. Solomon's like, I'm shutting it down. And Quan's like, Professor, wait. And the robot's like, I was emissary. I cannot. And Quan's like, no, as Solomon rips out the wires from its head. Quan's like, but we're just getting somewhere. Solomon goes, Quan, did you not hear that thing? There's no telling what it was talking about. But until we know more, we can't risk the security of the UGC. And then Quan goes, don't be superstitious, Professor. Think of what this technology will mean for our work. Solomon goes, you mean my work, Mr. Quan. Do not forget your place. And Solomon goes, this is my call. Quan's like, of course, I'm sorry, Professor. He goes, good. Now then, tell the pilots to plot our course back to Narada. We'll leave the decision on what to do next to the UGC Council. I'm exhausted. Clean up the lab and seal the specimen for transport. And Quan goes, yes, of course, Professor. And you hear him going, that was the last time I would ever see Professor Solomon. You would think betraying the man who taught you everything would be difficult. You would think it would be a decision that one would torture themselves over for days. But it wasn't. In the end, it was as easy as swiping my personal comm over the lab computer, recording everything we learned about the robot. And that simple indiscretion was the beginning of everything. The beginning of my work. And the end of Professor Solomon. And you see we're back in the torture lab. As Tulsa's like, you lying bastard. You used that robot to build your androids, and that somehow led to the harvesters? Saul and Quan's just like, there's no proof of any connection. Tulsa's like, no proof? And Snock's like, shut her up. This robot, this Solomon, where are they now? What happened to them? And Quan goes, I don't know. As soon as we arrived back on Narada, I left Solomon in the academy. I used the data from the robot to create my own robots. The most advanced the UGC ever saw, including the Tim series. Fame and fortune followed. I replaced Solomon as the face of robotic design in the UGC. Then the harvesters came. Snock's like, bah, he's useless to us. A pretender. Kill him, then start cutting the little bot open. The torturer's like, yes, Your Majesty. Tim's like, Captain Tulsa, do something. Quan's like, no, please, please. That's all I know, please. My arm hurts so bad. Snock turns around and goes, cut his voice box out first. I'm tired of hearing him. And you see a thoom as an explosion just blasts a wall open. And tells like, Tim 21? He's like, I am unharmed. And Snock's like, who dares? And you're, I dare, Nishian scum. And you see this robot army just making their way in as one goes, I am Sias and we are the Hardwire, the underground robot resistance. We have come for Tim 21. Tim 21 is like, me? He's like, yes, little one. We have traveled very far to find you, I must say. I never thought I'd find another like you. You look just like him. Tim's like who? Telsa's like, what are you talking about? And then Sias goes, Tim 21, meet my son. Meet Tim 22. Oh, boy, alright. And you see an identical clone of Tim 21 introducing himself as saying hello. And you have volume end. Oh, alright. So as an introductory volume goes, Descender was really, really, really good. Like, it gave me a lot of elements of what was it, like the Will Smith movie, what was it, the robot, iRobot, and kind of like all the artificial intelligence movies of, you know, even AI, I suppose, like the artificial intelligence movie that came out in the 2000s. It gave me the same kind of vibes with, you know, like the whole first bit being about, you know, the idea of kind of robots and humanity and kind of seeing, you know, right, you know, we saw how this conflict is coming together and then slowly starting to lay the groundwork for, right, you know, there's some history here with whatever happened with the robots that's somehow tied to Tim 21, somehow tied to this ancient civilization. And it seems like it's going to be somehow connected to humans repeating the mistakes of their past. And like, I wish I could say more about it, but this really was just a lot of setup and introductory elements to kind of set up the deeper, overreaching plot. But I can definitely say I'm really intrigued by it and definitely looking forward to diving into it more. From what we've seen of Telsa so far, I love her already. So I'm hoping we get to see her do more. And we kind of dig into her background personality more in the upcoming volumes. I love that Quan turned out to be, you know, this kind of absolute piece of shit that's in it for himself and has kind of just been screwing over everyone up to this point. I'm interested to dig into that and see how it plays out. But very, very powerful first volume, very compelling. Looking forward to where it's going to go from here. Enjoyed it a lot. I will do my best to pick up the next couple of volumes from my library, but they probably won't be able to get to them until at least mid-January. I want to say at the earliest, but yeah, this will definitely be an ongoing addition to my current set of read-throughs for the foreseeable future. So yeah, so hopefully you all enjoyed my first video reaction to this, and I hope you're looking forward to more to come afterwards. Like I said in the start of this video, I'll do my best to try to get out some Vinland Saga and Alita today as well. And then hopefully over the next week I'll try to slowly do a little bit more catching up on my backlog. I apologize, I thought I'd be freer to get out more content this past week, but unfortunately got sidelined with family and some other stuff, so I haven't been as productive as I'd like. But I'll try to make this again a more consistent and constant stream going forward. So you can look forward to that. Until next time, this is Ash. I'll talk to you all later.